Hey guys, and welcome back. Happy New Year. I am currently in the Dominican Republic. I usually always come back here for Christmas, and I wanted to just come in and make a quick video, maybe not so quick, about how my 2019 resolutions panned out and what I'm planning to do in 2020. I thought it would be really cool. I started this channel a year ago with a similar video around what I wanted to do in 2019, and I wanted to come back here and share, did I do any of those things? Did I learn anything in 2019? And then how I'm planning on taking all of that to the next year. If you haven't watched that other video, you should. Right now, my resolutions of 2019, I'll link it somewhere around, but one of them was I wanted to read 24 books. I read 26 books, and one of the things I did was I read through audiobooks, so I heard a lot of books, and that was really, really useful for me. I read Harry Potter, which changed my life, so that was amazing. I can't believe I waited so long to do that. And then there were a couple of other things. I have my notes down here, that's what I'm looking at. But there were a couple of other things that I did in 2019 that I didn't plan for, that I also added to let's say my accomplishments. So I did this fellowship for personal and professional development, which was really amazing. I started my master's degree in business coaching, which was also really exciting. I started my financial journey, so getting really into trying to pay off debt as soon as possible. I got to 100 subscribers on YouTube. That may not sound like a lot, but when I started, I didn't really know if I was going to be able to do it for a year. Sometimes consistency isn't my best, which you'll hear about in a second, but I think it was great for me to be able to keep this going and post and not let the fact that I didn't post for a week stop me from continuing to do this, because at the end of the day, I'm doing this for myself, and if it helps other people, then that's amazing. I'm gonna do another video on why I think everyone should start a YouTube channel, because it's really an amazing experience, and you'll learn a lot through doing it, even if you don't have the million subscribers or if you don't have the 1,000 subscribers. It's still, you're gonna learn a lot about yourself, and it's not for everyone, but it's definitely a really great experience. In 2019, I definitely took a lot better care of myself in general, my skin, my hair, my body, my emotional state, and I can't wait to keep that growth. One of the first things that I really not only learned this year, but really leaned into, was bringing things up as they bother me. If someone says something that bothers me, bring it up with them mainly, or with someone who can be a mentor, who can mentor me in that situation, because there were so many little things that people were saying that were affecting me, and I would just be no, it's just me, I'm making this up, and then it's all in my head, and then I would just carry this for years until one day I would just explode, or not want to see this person ever again. And in reality there were so many instances when I would bring things up to my manager. Let's say if it was a work-related thing, and my manager would be no, I totally get that, that makes total sense why you would see that in that way. And that just, first of all, made our relationship so much better, and second of all, it made me feel I'm not alone, and I'm not crazy. Very important things to know about yourself. So that's one of the things. Give yourself grace when you fail or when you fall down. I think failure for me is never a thing that, it's not a thing that I take lightly. So I think this year I had to do a lot of it's okay to fail, because out of failure comes growth. Through that lens, being able to forgive myself for a lot of not being able to let's say hit my work goals, or if I give myself this arbitrary debt repayment goal, or if I spent money that I wasn't planning on spending, all of these little things. Yeah, you need to see how can it be better next time, but it won't help for you to just beat yourself over it. Give yourself grace for failure and learn from it and move on from it. Personal growth is key, and it fuels professional growth. If you're ever in a slump, work on yourself, and that will fuel everything else that is happening around you. I didn't even know what I wanted. Maybe I still don't, but I did the fellowship, and it was a personal development fellowship. I learned a lot about what I wanted, or what I wanted my future to be like. I learned a lot about my goals, what I like doing, what I don't like doing. I believed a lot more in myself. I got re-motivated, and through that, I was able to take that back to my job and like come in with new ideas on how to do my job better, or like how to have a bigger impact, and that was really great. So if you're ever feeling stuck, do some professional growth shit. There's no reason to do a job that you hate. Like if you hate your job, here are 2 things you can do. So one thing is find what do you like doing about your job. You know, if you're doing your job, it means that some parts about it you like. Start finding those parts that you like about your job. That's something I did this year, and try doing more of that. And then the other thing is that try to create the position that you want where you are. Like, I totally get it. Some places you won't be able to do this, but some places you will. You'll become indispensable and you'll be able to do the things you love to do and maybe not do as much of the things you don't like to do, knowing that you're never gonna have a job that you love everything you do, you know, but knowing that like you could do more of what you love to do if you just ask for it. And I think that was something that I did this year, which was really great. And I think the last thing that I really liked from 2019 is that I wanted to take time to find what works for me and, you know, give myself grace. As we mentioned, like not everything that everyone else is doing is gonna work for me. And I know that now, and I'm giving myself time to figure that out now. And it doesn't mean that I'm not as good or that I'm not as qualified as other people. It just means that that didn't work for me. So I need to try something else. I didn't fail the program failed me. So what next thing can I do to try to get a result that I want and find a method that works for me? So I think that was like the last thing that I learned in 2019. Next year, every new year should be your best year. I definitely did not see it like that. Like in 2016, I was like, oh my God, this year's gonna suck. 2017, it was like even worse. And I think the first year that I was ever like, you know what? This year is going to be my best year was last year in 2019, and it definitely was. And it doesn't mean that bad shit didn't happen, like it totally did. It means that I moved towards something that I wanted, and I asked myself what I wanted to do, and I created a plan to get there. And every year should always be your best year because it's what you're living right now. There's a blank slate, you're gonna get into it, you're gonna do what you wanna do, you're gonna do what you love, and this is the time to decide what that may be for that year. With that, I'm gonna take you into my 2020 goals for the year. The first thing to mention is that I have a phrase for this year, and is that consistency is love. And what I mean by that is that when I'm trying something for myself, like if I'm trying to eat better, if I'm trying to work out, if I'm trying to like exfoliate every week or whatever, like doing something consistently is showing up for myself. If I consistently show up for my friends, that's showing them love as well. So one of the things that I need to work on is consistency, being okay with a routine, and that's just a way for me to show not only myself but also like my job and my friends that I appreciate them and that I love them and that I'm trying to be better. So that's my phrase for this year. So my first goal for this year, one is I want to automate things, and again with consistency. So like I go see my psychologist twice a month, but I don't schedule them until like I'm out of my appointment, and then I have to text her and be like, hey, when can you see me again? So like, is there a way I can automate that and like schedule 3 months at a time and just show up the day I'm gonna show up, and that way like my life will be less chaotic? Probably. These are all things I can 100% schedule, and I just haven't been scheduling them because for some reason I like legit fear, I don't know if it's commitment or what it is, but once it's in my calendar, it's just like another thing I have to do. Even though I'll end up doing it anyway, you know, like I'm gonna have to go to my psychologist, maybe, but I'll end up going anyway. So like, why not just put it in the calendar? It's gonna save me time. Actually, one of the things that I've been thinking about is how like I've been resisting becoming an adult. Like, I think my early 20s, I have known what I have to do, that I have to like budget, that I have to like do all these things, but I've been resisting it because I'm like, nah, it's fine. I don't actually have those responsibilities. And it's like, I totally do. I do. So I need to start owning up to them. So it was a sad realization, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I need to stop resisting my responsibilities and like doing the things that I know I have to do to succeed. Whatever, we're working on that this year. My resolution number 2 is that I want to get to 1,000 subscribers this year at least. So again, one of the things that I need to work on with YouTube is consistency, because I have not been consistently uploading videos. I want to upload a video a week. You know, my videos are going to be about me doing shit like this, like growing up, figuring out what works for me in budgeting, what works for me in like food prep, how to find an apartment where I live, you know, like any of the things that I'm going through. I just want to share them so that we can go through them together and you don't have to do the same mistakes I made. I want to finish my master's program this year. I want to bring food to work every day, and I want to work out 3 to 4 times a week by the end of the year. I want to lose 15 pounds and like keep them down. I may lose more in the year, but I want to like keep them down, because I feel like I can lose weight easily, but I gain it right back. So I want to make sure that whatever change I'm making with the foods that I'm eating, my active lifestyle, is something that is actually sustainable. I want to pay off my Upstart personal loan. That's like $7,000. I want to get my emergency funds to $3,000, and I should be able to do that this month, which is exciting. And by the end of the year, I want to have my net worth at least negative 10K. Right now it's like at negative 27,000. Yeah, negative 27K. So I believe in myself, is what I'll say. So yeah, I want to get it to negative 10K. And I think those are like my 3 very measurable goals that I have for the year. And then I have some other goals, like I don't want to add any more debt. What does it mean to just like maybe not pay as much debt, but also not get into more debt? Something else I want to do is build a community and just like build in time for myself. I've definitely done that this year, but I want to keep doing that next year. What I have not been doing this year that well is building a community. So how can I make sure that, you know, I have friends that consistently meet, or that I'm like providing a space for my friends to come to my home, or that I actually say yes in the weekends when they ask me out to do things. So yeah, that's one of my resolutions. I also want to create a space that I love my apartment. I'm moving out around like March or April to another apartment, and I'm going to be living on my own because I just want to see how that feels, and that I learn how to live alone, because I've never lived alone. So that's going to be a big thing this year too. The last 2 are, I want to be a better dog mom. So I want to take Coco to the dog park more. I haven't really had time, and I'm gonna have to do it a lot more when I live alone, because my brother has been taking Coco out a lot while he's been living with me, but he won't be, so I'm gonna have to step up there. And then the last thing is, I want to have my own yearly rituals. Is that like getting my friends together and baking cookies December 1st? Is that like having friends Valentine's Day? Like, I don't know what it is, but I want to start in key dates that I know are important to me, getting people together, and stop pretending like I don't care about those days and then feeling shitty afterwards because I didn't do anything, in a nutshell. So yeah, those are my resolutions. That's a lot, but I think the main ones that I'm thinking about that are super measurable are like my finance goals, my YouTube goals. That's how I'm looking at my year in 2020. But I'm also excited to be doing this video because I know a year from now, I'm gonna be looking back at this video and at last year's video, and I'm gonna see how everything has changed. And that's actually one of the pros of doing something like YouTube, is that here, your memory is right here. Like, you don't have to do anything else other than like watch your video. And yeah, that's a little preview of another video that I have coming up, which is what are the reasons for you to start your YouTube channel in 2020 and just do it for yourself and not care about what anyone else thinks. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up, and if you're new, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all next time. Bye.